in the digital age. You may keep your secrets from your friends, your parents, your children, your doctor, even your personal trainer. But it takes real effort to conceal your thoughts from Google.
I just like the way Boris Johnson says, Google.
I'm a therapist who goes to therapy.
Oh.
And some people think that's strange. The thing is, though, therapists are human beings.
We don't need that. Right. Welcome back to Links London, the Links London Global Headquarters. Coffee. Oh, at the Longy Machines. Phenomenal. Right. Today, quick update on Links London progress so far. The website is still behind a coming soon page, but it is coming soon. Made a lot of progress on that behind this page, behind the scenes. And today, I just thought I'd share our experience using Google, hence Boris Johnson's introduction of Google, and the tools we're using. Because I've just got Gmail. For Links London, it's going to be powered by Gmail. Now, when I first got websites, you'd think, or I thought, the hard part would be, in terms of coding and programming, would be the website itself. And because email's been around so long and seems quite a simple concept, would be a simple bolt on to the website. But no, if anyone that's ever built a website will know, it's a completely separate thing. So you get your domain, and you can then get you then need a host and some sort of platform for the website, but you then invariably need to bolt on email to the domain, and you can use the hosts for that, which I've tried. And a lot of the emails we tried back in the day, and I haven't tried any for years, I gave up on those, are expensive compared to Microsoft and Google's solutions, and really clunky and awkward. They're the ones I've used that come from hosts, awful. But some of them were free, so I persevered. But I haven't found a better solution than Microsoft and Google. So with what's Microsoft Outlook and Gmail with Google. Now, I've got for some other websites, I get so many emails from Microsoft, because for each different one, you have a different package. They're inexpensive. I think here in the UK, the Microsoft, if you want to bolt on an email address to a website using Microsoft solution, at the moment, I think it was $6.99. I think now it's £7.99 here a month in the UK. And it's not just email. You get their equivalent of Google Workspace, which I'll talk about in a minute. So you get access to some other software. It might even be Microsoft 365. So you probably get some of the, because I've got Microsoft 365 separately, you probably get some, like Word or possibly Publisher. You might, but there'll be tiers to the package you get. So the more you want, the more you pay. Similar with Google Workspace, which I've got. So for Links London, the email, I've decided for this, rather than using Microsoft, which a lot of my other websites are powered by, for now, because this is the first time I've tried their Workspace package. But yeah, I've bolted on Google Workspace, because for a shop, for an online store, there's no way around it. You need Google's tools, because a lot of potential customers will use Google as a search. Like them or loathe them, they're going to use it. It's very convenient. They're very good at what they do. Search, promoting free speech and what have you. So for the tools behind the scenes, we're going to be using Google a lot anyway. But So I thought it makes sense as part of one of their, you know, if we're using all the other apps, it's all in the same app bundle here. We'll have Gmail, we've then got access here to business pages, which is your business profile manager, documents, we've got a cloud drive. I've downgraded, when you go with Google Workspace, which we're going to be using primarily to give Links London email for now, because if it's no good I'll switch to Microsoft. Yeah, all the apps are in one place now. I went for the free trial, which lasted 2 weeks, and it ended yesterday. So I've had it 2 weeks, but for some bizarre reason, when I turned it on, it prevented access. We got access to all sorts of things free of charge, but for some reason it's blocked YouTube. It's not part of our subscription, but it's like, well, that was free anyway. So yeah, if I open a new tab, we get this. This account is not yet eligible to use YouTube. So we've been we're eligible to use a load of stuff that's paid, and all the free stuff we're no longer eligible, which is just bizarre. But and obviously a bug. Not a good start. But our free trial ended yesterday, or we were supposed to start paying yesterday. So I thought I'd make this video today because that free trial would end the bugs with the free stuff not working and the paid stuff and the paid stuff working. But for some reason the payment cycle doesn't start for another, it starts on the 1st of the month, and they've billed us some random amount, a few pence, but I don't think they haven't charged us, and it doesn't appear they're going to charge us until the 1st of the month, and the free stuff hasn't, like, it hasn't updated to the point where we're fully fired up. So yeah, not a great start, but we don't really need it, right? We've got access to, all I wanted it for was email primarily. All the other stuff is just going to be helpful. So I've got what I wanted, not paying for it for another couple of weeks, but there's a lot of limitations until we pay, which there shouldn't be. But tools we're going to use, I preloaded up. So this is our Google Workspace console, which is really gonna, to start with, I've linked up the domain. Very simple, I would say. I find Google products actually slightly more intuitive and easier to integrate into websites than the Microsoft ones. Idiot proof for idiots like me. But they get all of the service providers, the integrations into websites. I think this is a two-way street as well. The websites seem more open to adding the necessary code or apps from all these different providers, and they've both worked on integration to the point where it's quite seamless, relatively seamless and easier than it used to be, and it seems to be getting easier all the time. However, I do find integrating Google into websites easier than Microsoft products at the moment. So yeah, so the short story of that is it was super easy to set up and get the domains linked up, and the email up and running. Worked probably minutes, or less than an hour, less than half an hour, from clicking the button on free trial to having email. But even if you don't have Workspace, some of the things that I've set up, which I find useful and helpful, especially when you're building a website, would be Google Search Console. Google Search Console, so you can see how the pages have been indexed and any potential issues in the search index. What I would say about all of this is, one thing that surprised me when I first started building websites is you think it's digital and instant. That's not generally how they work. You would think if you do something they don't like, it's instant. They'll take it down instantly. But if they're everything else, they just seem slightly indifferent to, and it can take like a jewelry store. It could take 2 to 3 months for stuff we're doing now, for them even to just bother looking at crawling. Yeah, we'll do that in a couple of months. Indexing for a new site, 3 to 6 months. It is probably what you're looking at. So yeah, if you're launching a new website, unless you're doing something wrong and it's going to get taken down, that'll happen instantly. If you're doing it all right and it's something they're slightly indifferent to, funny enough, I'll give you an example. Jewelry sites, it might take 3 to 6 months for a page to index. I set up a one about cycling, bicycles. It's obviously, I would say, there are probably behind the scenes green flags and red flags. Jewelry, neither. The cycling, obviously, the politicians that have a voice in their ear, that's probably something they wanted to, that's a green flag, and that sailed through. New website, it had all the bells and whistles, beyond all the bells and whistles, within not necessarily hours, days. Ads on it, the work, it was ranking. So yeah, if they want to promote something, if it's on the agenda, I don't know whose agenda, but if it's on someone's agenda, it will happen really quickly. If they're although having said that, politicians can do U-turns real quick, so you're probably better off having something. They don't care either way, but it's not good for the business side of things and ranking, because you're going to be there for 3 to 6 months. But yeah, you like that. They can change their minds and your green flag can become a red flag and you disappear. So there's pros and cons to both those things. But anyway, Google Search Console, find that useful for just seeing the progress of. It gives you some insight into why no one's finding your website, because they haven't bothered to crawl and index it yet. But that's useful. If there are errors, it can show you. You can then dive deep and see if there's pages that it doesn't particularly like and why. That's useful. Because we've got a shop, Google Merchant Center I've loaded in. Now there are loads of issues, so this is going to be really helpful for us for the products in terms of the Google Shopping tab. Complete disaster right now, but I can't do anything about that because of the first thing. I'm not going to do any fixes on that until we take down the While You Wait page, because I think, although the pages can be crawled and searched, this is going to create some errors, because it's just going to create some errors. So until the website's actually live, I think there's going to be issues here anyway. When the website goes live, those issues are not going to be fixed. We're going to then go and fix them, but I'm not going to attempt to fix them until the thing's live, and then I'll worry about that. And again, it will take, even if I lived it now, we're probably looking at days before this thing catches up with the current progress, because we're just not on we're not high on an agenda. That's the Gmail, so they're all from Google. Where I was setting up all the various things, one of the first things I did was get the Gmail and then set up all these behind the scenes Google tools. Analytics, again, I think I got an email the other day saying our website saying Links London had achieved the grand total of 5 clicks in a month. So, but that is just that page, so that's something to work on. It's better than 5's better than none. Yeah, so that's the main ones I'll use. But there's also, we will probably also, if we start manufacturing, when we start manufacturing, we'll use Manufacturing Center as well. And There's a few other tools which, yeah, that's the YouTube. There's a few other tools that I've used. What were they? In there? Oh, that's the analytics. That's it. The business profile manager is quite useful, just to set up your sort of your business info, the about you, all the different tabs there, so you can control that. And I've got loads to look at and go through on that, but yeah, quick update. We're getting somewhere with the website. I've started the basic framework's done. I'm starting to load in we haven't got many products to go in right now until we get the IP issue, until we get the go ahead or rejected on our IP applications. We won't actually know the scope of what we're doing. So plan A, plan B, which I've mentioned in a previous video, but behind the scenes the website is it could probably go, although we've got the coming soon page, behind the scenes it could probably go live and everything functions and works and it looks like a real thing. However, we need to stack the shelves effectively. It's a fully functional store with no products. So we'll start getting the products in. Once we get the IP, we can live the site up, and yeah, and then all of this will come in very handy at that stage. Once the site goes live, we will be using Search Console and Merchant Center to then resolve all of these red, well, you can see there the fix button. We're going to be hitting that fix button a lot. It's even got guides here for us what to do next to make fixes so customers can find your product. So Google will actually guide us through increasing our website and store ranking and product rankings within Google Search and Google Shopping and whatever else people go on. So yeah, so far, apart from these weird bugs where the paid for stuff worked during the free trial and the free stuff stopped, like YouTube stopped functioning, or the one good thing which I just checked annoyingly doesn't work on this Mac. I don't know whether it's because it's an old operating system. It works fine on my new MacBook and on a PC I'm using. When you get this workspace thing, it gives you the opportunity, which I didn't have before. It could just be a coincidence that I've only just it could be that I've only just noticed it and you could always do this, but one thing it's loaded in for me is having multiple Chrome profiles. So it may just have brought having the separate workspace account for Links London might just have brought that to my attention. It might have always been a thing, but it's great because normally you can open a new Chrome window, and you can select a user. And what I've done is I haven't synced the two users. So if you were to go into YouTube on one, for instance, it will have the search from that. It will have the search and the recommendations from your previous searches and what have you. It kind of is keeping them separate, and also the recommended, when you open Google, the recommended pages, the quick links. So when we go into Links London, it's opening all the stuff for Links London. If I then had a different Chrome profile for a different brand, it would have all the quick links, and the YouTube search and what have you would be relevant to that, which is I hadn't used until I got this, and that's a cool feature. Right, enough waffle. Google update. Next, what will be next? Products. That is next. The website's done. This was the email and getting the Google Tools at fixing the errors with within the Google tools is the next and final phase for the website itself, and then we're just maintenance on that and product. We need products.